Wow.
Enrolado están los tabacos.
Yeah.
4:20
Yeah.
que vamos a acelerar las manos si tú fumas marihuana.
Say what?
Pásame el lighter que yo quiero aprender.
Say what?
What's good, my brother?
You are, man. Good to see you, superstar.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you, brother.
You are absolutely blessing us with music on this album, man.
Thank you. Hopefully, bro. I can't wait, bro.
You can't miss 23. Is it 23 songs? Something crazy, like a lot of songs.
You know, this generation are like pushed to make a lot of music because the way that the industry is moving.
We're insatiable.
Yeah,
We're hungry all the time.
Always, so
all the time.
We gotta be cooking up, you know, to serve up.
You took your time, man, and you've come back with something which shows so much growth. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
I know it was important to you. You were already there. You're in the room. Everybody loves you. Artists love you. Fans love you. Things are sweet. But you've clearly pushed yourself on this album in a lot of different directions. You know, what was the most challenging part for you? Really, what do you looking back on this now? It's done. Where's the growth for you?
I like to create without having that pressure. So in this album, my last album, I made it like for the streets. Yeah. Like, you know, when you buy perfume, they give you like coffee. So my last album is the coffee for this new flavor from Myke. You know, this is like global music, but with my island vibes. You know, like this is my essence. I still can rap. I have, you know, my bars, but this music is like more global. So in this, I wanna like the song that was listening to right now, it was like Flow Jamaican. It's like that's our structure, you know, we came from that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're in the pocket on that so hard. I mean, the whole album, and you cover so much ground, to your point, you know, for you to say to the world now, you know, I came from an environment where I needed that authenticity. That's the street music. That's like, I'm speaking to my fans, to my people, to my community. This is Myke Towers.
Yeah, you gotta be genuine.
Gotta be genuine, right? But now you gotta say to the world, this is what I'm capable of.
At the beginning, I was trying to explore what I can do. I didn't knew where I can take it. So now it's different. Now I see where the game is going, so I know what's missing. So I play with it. I like that.
Someone like yourself is a perfect combination of reality and imagination.
Yeah.
It's like what you know and you want to talk about, but you gotta be able to dream it up.
Yeah, because you want people like to enter to your thing, to your talks, you know, like in your mind. So at the beginning I was doing it like just for fun. Now I know what I want to express, you know, and I'm the voice of the youth. I feel like I got that responsibility.
When did you realize that was your responsibility?
When I saw the reaction of the people, like when they listen to my songs, I just was trying to escape from the reality, let's say problems, the pressure, what I'm gonna do with my life. So I started doing music.
Most people who, you know, when you're struggling to figure out what your next step in life's gonna be, and there's people around you saying, Myke, figure it out. The arts is not what they want you to say. They're like, no, go get a job, go do this, go study, go do this, go focus on something that has structure. Music has no structure. You have to make it up.
Yeah,
it's
and
hard.
You gotta come with something new that people say, I want to, you know, be part of that. So that's I think that's part of my evolution.
You are fresh, no question about it. How important have your friends been toward helping you stay fresh, not do things that others are doing? How honest are they?
I think they are like guilty because they the ones that told
Guilty
me like
as charged.
Yeah, they told me like, you know, you gotta take advantage of that gift that you got. Because at the beginning I didn't have the vision. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, nah, I don't wanna be, you know, artist. Nah, I don't like that. But then they the ones that told me like, yo, like, nah, you gotta do it and go this way. This is what the game is now. This is the new one. You gotta make a record with this one. So I'm still like use them like they're my judge in my music.
You got some real friends.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, you know, you grow up with people, they want to keep you where they are.
Yeah.
It sounds like your friends were like, no, you have a path, go on.
I don't like to go to the studio with a lot of people because, you know, it's good to have suggestions and everything, but I get distracted. And I only listen to the people that I know
You keep them around you?
Always. You know, they got up, and if not, let's say I'm in LA now, so I'm coming back to PR and I show them what I made musically, you know, like always.
What PR and other parts of the Latin world have given us, but in particular right now, not to create a hierarchy, but PR has given us so many gifts.
Like that first bet when the reggaeton was born, you know, like it's something more than music. And everybody knows the evolution, where it came from, you know, the
Can you speak to that though? Can you, because people think of it now as a genre of music that does big numbers and sells out stadiums. Can you talk about the more part, that it's more than just music? What do you mean?
It's more than 30 years like developing this genre, you know, it's like history. It started, everybody got an history of how it started, you know, but it came from the underground. So now it's like pop music. You know, we got big names from Daddy Yankee to Bad Bunny. You got like a lot of people representing, you know.
You know what's beautiful in the end about this is that it always comes from struggle.
At the beginning, you remember like hip hop, that people were like the police wouldn't let you play hip hop. That was happening
Straight
with the
poverty.
reggaeton.
Yeah, I mean, you know, turntables as a form of entertainment was because people couldn't afford instruments and all the stuff that you needed to make music. People couldn't get in the studio, so they went into it was a block party. DJs going back to back because it's like that's the cheapest and most effective way.
They're gonna look for the way.
They're gonna
but
find the way.
Now we came, like Biggie said, it was all a dream. Like you don't even notice where you can take it. So now I just enjoying the process, bro.
Now you're on a hit record with Daddy Yankee, who's somebody that you must have looked at as a kid and gone, if he can do it, I can do it. Was it that simple?
Definitely, bro. I saw Yankee like a superhero, you know. Daddy Yankee, Tego, Don Omar, Wisin and Yandel, those names. I saw them like, you know, I was growing up watching them, like making it. I was 19 years old when I decided like, let's put music out.
And what were you doing at 19 years old? At that moment in time when you made that life-changing decision to focus on music with the talent you had, what other path could you have taken? Where were you going in life if you hadn't?
I'm a normal person. I was studying and working. So I had that, you know, that life. I didn't have time for me because I wanted like a hustle too. So I saw the music like from my escape from reality to my hustle. Then I live from music, you know, so I see it different now. But I still got the hunger and the passion of making music. Like,
yeah.
I don't care about numbers.
You wouldn't
I don't care
here.
about the money. I care about, you know, my music sounds millionaire.
Could you ever imagine when you were 19 and you were really inspired by making those records that are going to move your friends, move the streets, that you would get there? That is a very tasteful, timeless soul record, really, if you look at the arrangement.
Yeah. At that time, I couldn't tell where I was going because, let's say, I was playing baseball, let's say, but I was batting, but I didn't knew the direction. Now I see the game and
You're just swinging.
Yeah, I was swinging. Now I see what we are. Let's see the game, what we need. So I don't have that pressure. The best thing that helped me is that I'm a student. I'm still a student in the music. So in my free time, I'm studying new people, wherever. Let's say if you got an inspiration and I respect your path, I wanna see why that inspired you. I'm very explore. You know, I like to explore in the music.
So we got to talk about a couple of peers and contemporaries who are covering ground never covered before. We got to talk about Bunny because I feel like what Bunny's achieved in the last 2 years in particular, he was already the mathematical king.
Yeah,
his numbers are through the roof.
Opened a lot of doors for the young, you know, the new generation in the music and even the people that was before, because he have taken like, it's not just music, you know, he came with the whole package. So he opened doors for us. Let's say everybody's talking about Puerto Rico, because, you know, we was making music before him, but he took the game to another level. So now it's everybody like, oh, let's discover what they got.
Independent. I think it's really important that, you know, we focus on that. I keep saying to people who love music, you know, when all is said and done in the next 10 years, people will look at Bunny as probably on paper, just numbers, the most, like with margins and profit and how much he owns and what he has.
He's in the Beatles level, you know.
The most successful musician in the history of music because he's retained his rights, he's retained his His money.
His own music, everything.
Everything.
You know, that's the new model of the business, you know.
And you're studying that.
Yeah, of course. Even musically, you know, you can take out the way that he makes music. I respect that from him. You know, he's not like a musician. He's an entertainer.
And a business builder.
Yeah, of course. A brand, you know, he has his brand, and when you winning, you know, you know how to move.
Artists love you. I mean, you know, the people you've lined up and collaborated with already is incredible, insane. I mean, what's the most important thing about a successful collaboration for you?
I think that the respect, you know, that you give each other. It doesn't matter if you are like a new artist or a legend, like they say in the game. Like when they see you got it, they gonna tell you, and you gotta, of course, you gotta respect, so they can take you in the new level. So I think that's the key of my success, you know, my success.
I would never ask you what your favorite collaboration is. I've tried that before. It's disastrous. No one wants to say. But has there been one collaboration that you feel that you learnt the most from, that you walked away from and went, okay, I actually retained lessons from that experience?
I think, you know, the Daddy Yankee one, because it's not the first time we collaborate. Every time, even the first time I saw him, he was giving me like game, you know, like when I see people that I look up to, you know, they get jokes in the middle, but I'm not trying to joke, and I'm trying to learn. So they see that whenever I get together with them, I say Bonnie too. Whenever, you know, we don't talk that much about music, but we talk about how we entertain, like how we move. So I learn about them, everything.
Yeah, because he moves stealth too, and so does Yankee. I mean, that's the crazy thing, is that you have this inside track now. These are your mentors, right? Yankee's a mentor.
Yeah, Yankee, I see like in the music, like a mentor, and not only like directly. Like I see a lot of interviews about them, like they don't even know. It's from when I was younger, you know, and now I got everything. Even not only in my, you know, in Spanish game, I study like legends in the hip hop game, from Dr. Dre, you know, to Jay-Z. I study a lot of legends.
Are we putting Drake on that list?
Of course.
Of course. And the reason I brought him up is because, and I hope you take this the right way, I actually see you in the same light as Drake.
Of course, yeah.
Because on this album, you cover so much ground just like he does. Like he'd have an album with the most emotional moments, the hardest moments, the danciest moments,
yeah,
the
he can bring
moments.
He makes music. He's a genius making music. And I think this triangle in the music, like Drake, Jay-Z, and Biggie, I think is my element of they were like the ones that I said, like, I want to be, you know, I want to be part of this game. And of course, the people from Puerto Rico, my music, what I do. But when I take it to another, like this game, Drake gotta be, it's one of the most that I look up to.
Three of the greatest lyrical artists ever. You know, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Drake. You know, what they do with words in their music is another level. I'm still listening to Jay-Z albums, Biggie albums, Drake albums, and rediscovering meanings to things. The 50th time I've heard that song.
The fact that Drake had like more focus on women, and that type of music, it's like we're gonna listen like to Just Hold On, We're Going Home, 15, 30 years later, you know, it's like, that's a classic. So that's why I look up to Drake so much, and I love hip hop, like the elements. Like I'm a lyricist. When you listen to Kama King, you can tell I'm a Biggie and a Jay-Z fan. You know?
You can. Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear the softer side of Biggie's music, but he always came with the hard subject matter over the softer tracks.
Yeah.
Puff would give you that beat that makes you want to dance, and then Biggie would hit you with the lyrics and make you want to...
That combination, I'm a fan of that, bro.
The thing about Biggie was he had an ability to be able to say the darkest in almost a nursery rhyme way. Like the way he go, lights get dimmer down Biggie's hallway.
You can feel it.
You feel it like, the lights just did get dimmer down Biggie's. So it's like, that sense of like...
He was painting the picture. Like,
yeah, you remember what it was like when I first went to New York in the mid-90s, and you'd go to some of those apartment buildings to see your friend, and everyone's broke, no one's got any money, and you're going to go see your friend, and the light's flickering in the hallway, and it's like, it's got that New York thing. He'd sum that up.
That's what they showed to me. Remember, I've been studying, and I was looking like to the common denominator of everything.
Yeah.
And I said like, they talking about the lifestyle, so you gotta keep it real. New artists, they trying to like fake it till you make it, and
Right.
I think that's an error, because when they see the evolution, like they saw mine, they appreciate it more, and I appreciate it more. I said like, I'm not going back, so I gotta put work on it.
Is that what Like Mike was to you? An important first statement? You knew you were going to end up here on this album, but you needed Like Mike to do what it was going to do.
I was releasing a lot of music with pop artists, because they make reggaeton too, but this is a different lane.
Well, they want what you have.
Yeah.
And you can take a little bit of what they have.
So I'm ready to collaborate, but I knew I was coming with a lot of songs like that, and I said, nah, I need to fit the streets. Now I got that balance. So I'm coming with this album, and just to show what I can really do. I had an album before Easy Money Baby, and I did it for that. And after Easy Money Baby, I started like doing features with people that I had no idea I was going to do, because they saw like, oh, he can do mainstream music too. So with this album, I'm going like a new level.
I think most artists, when they get to a point when they want to reach more people, it's never as consistent as albums like this are. Like you really feel comfortable in all these different places. You talk about a Karma King song, or an Alta. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I made that with Nesty La Mente Maestra, one of the legend producers. Like we see Yandel, he got a lot of hits with them. And I went to his studio, like, let me see what he got. Why he has his name, and I entered to what he do, and combine it with what we do. So I think it's gonna be a club anthem, bro.
When you're in the studio and you're hearing a song like that, and you're hearing it come together, and the producer's doing what the producer does, right? They're working at their highest level. What's your process? I've never asked you. What's your process? How do you get to a place where you're ready to go in the booth and lay down a track? How do you conjure up the theme, the narrative, the flow, the delivery?
I've
seen it all. I've seen people do it line by line. I've seen people have left the studio and I've been making beats for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Left me there on my own for 8 hours and then come back fully written, but they needed those 8 hours. How do you do it?
I don't have like a formula. Let's say I just let the beat talk to me. But I have to get in the booth. I need that guidance. Like the guy, like it gotta be a hook. I gotta have something to get into the studio. So I realized that a lot of years from my career, like late. That remember we spent a lot of time in the studio, but what you see in the studio, speakers, equipment. But when you live and then put it in music, that's when you get inspired, like you see new things. And I saw it when I started like, getting to, let's say, Chile, Europe, Colombia, like I was traveling, new people, you see everything new clubs, new women, everything. And you get inspired, but if you get like in the studio every time, you're gonna speak about the same. And I realized that, but I gotta have an idea to get in the booth. I respect the people that get into it and drop like from the top. I can't.
Yeah.
I want
because you're a watcher.
To make sense.
You're a watcher, right?
Yeah.
When you're traveling, you probably do your best work in between shows
and studying,
right?
bro.
Watching the whole time
from the airport, everything, taxi, everything. I watch everything because I get inspired from the hustle. People selling food out in the streets, late night, barber shops. Like I get inspired about the hustle from the hustle. So that's why I still got that. It's a spirit. When you're a hustler, you got the spirit inside. Don't matter how much money you make, how down you are, you're gonna get back up in the game. So I feel like in my music, I give that message.
You could have applied that attention to detail and that commitment to studying a craft to anything. And you said before you were studying and you had a job before music really started to happen for you. What were you working toward? I mean, if you hadn't picked music as your life, were there other avenues that were interesting to you?
I want to be like a physical therapist. I wanted to be like exclusive for a boxer or a football team. I wanted to make it to a whole another level, but I was in PR. I need to travel. I need to, it was I put them both. I think about it. It was like, let me see what I can do. Whenever I was in the college, I was like, I'm not making money. I need money to invest in this. I know I got the talent, but I'm really confident. Let me see. So that's why I enter like putting music to my friends, and they're like, "That's you."
Yeah.
And if
The
it
path
wasn't like
revealed
for
itself.
the people, I was
Yeah.
my last day at work. I was having that night a performance. So let's say the mall, I was in Lady Foot Locker. The mall's closed at 9, let's say, or 10. And since I get in the to work, everybody was like, "Yo, what time you got in stage? Yo, I'm gonna see you tonight." I'm
You're
like,
like, there's the path. That's the path.
and everybody knew I was there. It was like, now when they listen to the music, it's like, though, and when they see you there, it's like, they appreciate it, but
People
it's like,
told you. They told you.
So I had this friend that he was like, "Yo, you gotta live that work. It's anything bad, but you gotta live that. So you invest time in it." And he was telling me like, in 6 months we're gonna talk. And I didn't have that vision. I was like getting like $300 every 2 weeks. So I saw that like, nah, I got this. Forget about it. Nah. I'm gonna take my time. But then I was that night. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. I talked to the manager. I'm like, "Yo, I need to leave. Everybody knows I'm here." And she understood.
From what you're telling me, everybody else could see what it just took you a minute to figure out, that this was the path that was laid out for you. You just had to choose to go down it. You talk about something like money. It's interesting to me because when you're young, a lot of your decisions are driven by that because you want financial independence to help build your own identity. You're like, I need money to have identity. Otherwise, I'm living someone else's identity, right? And then you start to become successful and the music starts to move and the shows start to get booked and the money starts to come in. And I wonder how you see money relating to your art. Is it less important to you now that you're starting to get it?
What's not important is the amount. What is important is like the entrance. It gonna comes. So you gotta make the idea what gonna make it comes. You gotta put that like in the perfection level.
Impact.
Yeah, like you gotta do it. Take it to the massive expression. Like, so the money gonna come. I know it for a fact. But the music is gonna be luxury music.
Dude, this is really interesting. I'm loving this conversation. Going back to Puerto Rico, and I just wanted to ask you from as someone who grew up there, realizing, people always looked at Puerto Rico as a vibrant and beautiful part of the world. Even when I was a teenage kid, through the arts, there was always that sort of Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Oh, like you knew that the music and the culture was alive there.
Yeah.
But now the world is like I said, we're getting these gifts, this music, this art, and it's coming from inside the country. So it's not like the community. So it's not like the artists coming from there are changing and trying to fit into our world. It's actually saying it's always been here. It's exciting here. So my question is what impact do you feel that is having on the community back home, watching the world starting to dance to the music and admire the artists?
That's why every month you got new artists. Everyone's trying to, if not being an artist, like they know that in the industry they got space. They could be cameraman. They could be, there's an industry. So everyone, that's the new hustle, making music. But remember, this in Puerto Rico, this comes from the salsa time, the salsa era.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a shame. The salsa people came with like Daddy Yankee. Now we like putting this work so that the new generation,
it's always like
we wanna be like us, Like I was in their position. So, but this is not for everybody. That's what you gotta realize it. So this is for the one that want it most. You gotta work for it. It's not about talent. It's not about the gift. No. You gotta put work on it.
I mean, that's really what like Myke is, isn't it? It's you saying, I'm Jordan. I'm not that I'm like, I've got hang time like Jordan.
I got
the work ethic
the work
like
ethic.
Jordan.
That's the word.
You don't become Michael Jordan unless you take every waking second and you find somewhere to run your plays.
I study from Jordan to Myke Weather. I studied to JC. I studied Bob Marley. I studied Michael Jackson. I studied the best. So, we gotta come strong too.
Do you get mad when people start throwing other names around as the GOAT? Do you get mad? I mean, people do. I was in New York last week and someone was telling me that it was LeBron. And then someone the other day was trying to tell me it was Steph as the GOAT. I'm like, okay, like.
I think when they say GOAT, I see it as a level, so we can coexist. So when you work like in a GOAT level, let's say Messi and Cristiano, they are GOATs.
Yeah, but Messi's
they're in a level. For me, Messi,
Messi's Messi.
But you can tell they're in a level, in a certain level that they're, you can go wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the work ethic, I study them, bro.
I love it. This is an important album for you. This is a really important album for you, and I'm clearly really, really proud of it. Who did you play it to first when it was finished?
My friends, like, when I see the reaction from them, they won't lie. People just want to tell you, like, yo, it's dope. And then I like that.
Yeah, you can tell.
I listen to the new song.
Yeah, you can tell.
They will tell me, like, nah, that's not album material. They will tell me, and they were in my process. And this album, I changed it like a couple times, because remember, I stopped putting music out to create it, and then it was like, yo, I gotta come with my presentation. This is my new resume. I wanna be like this era is like Myke being a superhero. I wasn't with my uniform. Now I'm with the uniform.
Yeah, because that's the thing that I think, that's what really pushes hard tickets. It's like, okay, it's great to go see somebody with natural ability perform songs that I know. But when you come out and your job as an entertainer is to entertain, and also you can, like I said, this is the reality, but now you can really use your imagination to present it.
It's entertainment, so now I realized that. I was like, I didn't knew that Michael Torres was like Myke Towers' owner, so I was like, Michael everywhere. Now I'm like, whenever I gotta put Myke Towers, I'm
you know the difference.
Yeah.
You know the difference. How does it feel now being Myke Towers then? How does it feel different? Do you feel, does the confidence, do you feel like invincible?
It's part of it, like inside, I work to be the best, but I feel like I'm in the last position. So I never like take things for granted, like I gotta work for it, because the line is, it's packed. Everybody wants to be in your position, so you gotta work hard.
I think people forget how much time you've put into this, and also where you came from. And I think a lot of people discovering new music right now feel that you're part of this new wave. But I mean, we're a decade into this, and
even I forget about it, because when you like it, you put the work and you don't suffer.
Yeah, you're in the moment. I think about how you got your start. I think about that and really essential moment of the democratization, the even sharing of music from artist to friend and peer group. Before SoundCloud, before the internet really opened those doors for you, we all needed to give you a green light. And then we all told you, this is your audience. But you went in on the internet and you went, no, my audience is my age.
You study the target. And I think the internet, it was our tool, for artists like me, we're talking Anuel, Bad Bunny, Ozuna, big names, Jay Cortez, Raúl Alejandro. The internet gave us that new path. You got an opportunity to, everyone can go viral. So if you make something dope, for sure you're gonna be you're gonna have listeners. You're gonna have a fan base. So from that, you gotta develop it.
It's proof of concept. It works. What was the first one? Remind us what the first one that really went viral when you were like, all right, this is surpassed my expectations.
My first song, it wasn't I didn't see it viral like in social, because I didn't have social open. But I saw the next 3 days, a lot of people was. The first day took a 300 plays, something like that. But then people, everyone that knew me, they were like, yo, this is Michael, this is Myke. Listen to him. Yo, listen. Everyone that saw me is like, yo, that's you. That's really you. Yo, you got it. And I'm like, no. At the beginning, I was like, no, that's a friend. That's a friend. That's a friend.
It's interesting.
Because, you know, I didn't have the confidence.
But what was your biggest, if you can think back to that young Myke Towers, what was the biggest fear you had about owning up to your own art?
Like, remember, I'm the type of person that I knew a lot of people and I always had always like to be fresh and I'm always in, you know, hanging out. But no one knew like I like to be an artist or a rapper or whatever they call me. I didn't show that to people. So that's why they
What are you, like 17, like 18, like 17,
so
like you're young?
19 years. So the first time I gotta perform, I had to perform because every cover, they wasn't with my picture on it. Like no one knew who was Myke Towers. But when the first time they started to recording me and people was like, oh, I saw a video. I'm like, so I can fake it. I told them like, yeah, I like that. So people from that time, they saw me like as an artist. So, cause they saw how I believe in me, you know, my confidence, but inside I wasn't. You know, I put my face like, I got it, but
so it's totally normal.
At first I wasn't, yeah.
Young, listen, it's hard. I mean, there's a lot at stake at that moment. Like if you said, yeah, that's me, and one person who's your friend went, yeah, even
your people, you pay more.
Even if they liked it, they were just like, I'm gonna keep this guy grounded. Like I'm not gonna let him gas this guy. It could have been the moment that made you stop. Right? It's like it's so delicate at that moment when you're young to know how.
I'm gonna keep it real. I talked to my girl. I was like, yo, I like this, but if you think that this is too much, I don't do it.
Wow, you gave her the opportunity. Wow.
Not for her to decide. Like, I wanna like tell me the truth. Like,
but
what do you think?
It may have influenced you.
She was like, you like it, you got it. Do it. What are you thinking about it? I'm like, nah, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I saw it from that time, like a hustle.
That's a really important moment in this conversation because I think for any young creative listening right now, it's delicate. It's on a balance at some point in your life, whether you choose to do this or not do this. Thank goodness that you did. There's so much amazing music here, bro. Is there one right now that if you were to put this album on in your car, you would go to first and play first?
Right now, I think the one with Arcángel and the last one. Because it got like the vibe from the streets and the last, Don Itego, the name, you know, it's like our inspiration, bro.
Here's the thing, right? People are going to have to get their head around, you're going to just have a lot of new fans after this album. And then you're going to have to like remind them after this album that you're Myke Towers, the Myke Destroyer.
That's my, like, I work 2 in 1. I gotta be able
one for you and for the streets and one for the world.
That's my game. I've been, you know, I realized that like in early.
You have been studying because that's how Drake does it.
Yeah, yo, I'm telling you, Drake is one of my biggest inspiration, and I respect like how he moves. You know how many people he puts in position and in the charts so I try to do that even with new artists because I was there too. So, you know, there's gonna be a lot of people even bigger than me, but I just wanna put my, you know, my good touch on it.
You love to rap.
Love it.
You love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that hip hop is like a way of living, and I don't like to, you know, when I feel like I left in the past, I need to go back to it. So it's like I need to really. It's like a feeling. So that's why I know for a fact when this album comes out and people will start to tell me like, yo, I love it, but we need that mic back. They like that every time, so I play with it.
Yeah, but that's fuel, right? Because next time you get on the mic, because you have to get harder and better every time.
Sometimes I gotta feel a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, I get that.
To get into my, you know, the best expression of me.
Let's make a playlist, bro. And right, I haven't done this with anyone for a long time, maybe ever in this capacity. Let's make a playlist right now. Let's make a new playlist in your car. We didn't have to make the whole thing, but let's figure out from across all genres of music, who who comes to mind when you start a new playlist like that? Like, who do you really, outside of perhaps the Drakes and the Jays, like even your contemporaries, newer artists, who do you listen to? Because I'm looking at the people you've collaborated with, and it's diverse, dude. I mean, Marshmello and Normani. I mean, you obviously love music.
Yeah, I love the game, bro. But if I gotta come with a playlist, it depends of what we're doing. But let's say we got like all around, I gotta come with Romeo Santos. Gotta pick some of his records from Aventura, and by himself. I gotta come with Marc Anthony. I gotta come with Drizzy. You gotta play Drake. But let's say people legendary, I gotta come with Bob Marley, bro. For my personal playlist, Bob Marley, Michael Jackson. I like to play like Jimi Hendrix. Like I like to smoke, so I like to got music that I don't understand. Even I like to play, let's say, Cody Ranks, Shower Ranks, that type of music.
I can hear that though on Flow Jamaica, man, because you stepped into that space with ease. Like, that's a hard rhythm.
And you know what? I never tried to jump in one of those records. So it's like I like it, so I get inspired. And then when I start to put out what I want to, it's like one of one. So I love that record, bro.
Here's the thing about, you said you like to smoke, and here's the thing. When I was younger and I smoked, I would tell myself it was creative exercise, but man, I was just
no. You know what? I don't use it as that, because then you get in your mind that,
because you seem razor sharp to me. Not to say you can't smoke and obviously be focused. I mean, it's a big business. It's a big business now. But you don't seem like the kind of person who relies upon that exercise.
I just do it like, I see it like to relax myself. Like I deal with everything at the same time, so I gotta chill sometimes. But my music and my inspiration don't come from that.
Well, let's talk about the other side of what you do then, because we spend a lot of time celebrating it, the journey from a young person, the importance of family and friends, the focus and the study that you put into your craft, and the quality of the music. We've ticked those boxes thus far. Let's talk about the side of it that's been the most challenging. What have you struggled with, if anything, to come to terms with since this has become your life? I speak to a lot of artists in my life, and anxiety is a common thread throughout the arts. The pressure to perform in front of people, as an example, and just having people kind of on your payroll that you're responsible for has become more successful. Those are two examples. Like, what's been some of the challenges for you since this became your life?
I got a lot of situations in real life, but it's how they say the show must go on. Like, you gotta realize that your pain is their entertainment. So I always
that's interesting though, Myke, because we do, as fans of music and listeners and lovers of music, take great comfort from artists like yourselves sharing difficult things that make it easier for us. But where I think we have to try to create a distinction is that when it starts to become entertainment, it's almost like I need that from you, and you can't be responsible for me.
That's why. So that's I see it like that. Like my pain is your entertainment, but I keep it like ground, to the earth, because everyone can get caught in this game and go crazy. I keep it like, this is my work. The music, the day that I decide to not do it more, it's okay. The people that see me, I'm Myke Towers, but I'm not doing this anymore. I got like more things, more dreams. I got more goals in beside music. So I know, hopefully I can go out of the game, like Yankee's doing now.
What about other responsibilities in life? The balance between, because becoming an artist and following your dreams is quite a self-absorbed situation, right? It's like, it's sort of an acceptable narcissism. It's like, I'm just going to do me, and I need to. In order to be successful, I have to focus on me. But life starts to take hold. What are you, 29 now? 28? 29. At some point we're talking family, right? We're talking people in your life. Like, I mean, how is that balance between who you're responsible for and you share this life with and your own journey?
It's crazy. It's very difficult, bro, because sometimes you're the hero.
Do you have any
outside.
kids? Do you have any?
Yeah, I got a kid.
You got a little one.
3 years old.
Right. Congrats,
Sometimes, thank you, Raul. Sometimes you are in the outside, you are the hero, but in the house they don't see you.
You're absent.
So you're the villain in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and out there you're everyone
Mm-hmm.
wants to be near you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want you every place at the same time.
You got to check it at the door.
So sometimes you get it. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sometimes even my mom, she's like, "Oh, haven't seen you," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"I'm doing this for y'all." So
Yeah.
when you got a plan, let's say I want, how I told you before, I want to retire young. So
And do
gotta-
what? What are you going to do? What does retire mean when you're young? Because here's the thing about retirement, which is interesting. And by the way, I don't say that with any judgment, because that was my dream as a kid. I was like, man, I don't want to be 65 and start working. I want to start working when I'm X. But it's like, when you say retire, you mean do it for different reasons?
yeah, because let's say in the music, I love music. Let's say I could be doing music my whole life, but I won't be putting the same time I put now. I could be working for others, like helping others.
Yeah.
I think I'm learning a lot, so I'm gonna put my game to other people. And let's say I could develop another things up right beside music, even producing movies. I like to do a lot of
You can
things.
do any of that stuff.
I want to
man, for
do.
sure.
I want to be in the sports like world, like having boxers. I want to be like doing different things. That's the music is my trampoline right now. Like it's my first, my first level. But I got a lot of things that I need to. But the music right now is my main focus.
No question. You can't listen to this album and not realize your dedication. But parenthood will do that too. Because you know what, you start to realize, like, your little one's 3. Ours are older now. I got to a point when I came to Apple, just telling you the truth, when I came to Apple, so much of it appealed to me, and I was always going to take that opportunity. But one of the reasons was because I was doing so much touring as a DJ. I was traveling all over the world. I was away so much. I was watching my kids grow up over a phone.
Yeah, you.
And I was like, man, this is a chance for me to like stay in one
sacrifice.
place.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Like when you say you're gonna hustle hard now.
I know for
your
a
little
fact that
girl
I
or your
can
little
do.
boy is 3. So I figure, like, what you got
But still, whenever I go out and come back, he got new tricks. Let's say.
That's what I
He's
mean.
like,
So you got to be thinking, what, 5 to 10 years of really strong hustle, so at the very least I get the 10 to 20s and I'm home.
Yeah, and he's little, but he understands what I work.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't understand is, like, I'm far away. He thinks
Yeah.
the FaceTime is good and bad at the same time.
Let me tell you, Mike, you're on borrowed time with that, because pretty soon he's going to realize you're not there.
Yeah,
And it's tough. It's tough. I mean, it can't get in the way of your drive, but like you said, it's got to motivate you.
yeah. That's why before I had him, I was doing it just for me. But now I wake up and I know I gotta put a work ethic, because I need to leave a legacy, for them.
Can I say something which is probably going to seem strange given that it's the first time we've really met, but you're an impressive guy. Like, listening to the music, it's impressive the amount of ground you've covered on this album and pulled off. I mean, it takes people 5-6 albums to normally get to a place like this. You're right. It feels in a weird way like your first proper album to me. I don't know how it feels to you, but like I love like Myke.
Yeah, this is like, so I was making music in a session. A producer, Slow Myke, told me, this is like your graduation.
Yeah.
So I feel it like that. I felt what he told me, like, this is like, you are in a new level with this one.
You are. But at the same time, you carry it really well, really thoughtful. And dude, everything you're going to go do, I can't wait for the Myke Towers. I can't wait for the Myke Towers boxing franchise.
I've been studying the game a lot, so a lot of time. So, I'm a person that if I don't do
training
if I don't
business,
do
bro,
it,
that's just a license to print money. That circuit training business. How many Mayweathers are out there now? Oh my gosh.
now I'm the type of person that if I am not doing it the correct way, I'm not doing it. So that's why I take my time. But when we go into that game, we're gonna go hard too.
Real one.